was a lot of stick given to the media about the coverage, about it helped a lot to the
Yeah,
Pakistanis
yeah,
there.
yeah.
So what's your take on that? Like, I would
But
want
that
to
was
know.
wrong. That was clearly wrong.
Okay.
See, I was very new. I was very young, and obviously, even the channel was full of young people. At
Mm-hmm.
that time, we didn't really have too many experienced people. So they put
Right.
me on the field, and I did whatever I could. I didn't have the wherewithal of the other big journalists. I didn't have those kind of connections and all. I was telling, so like if I was standing, I would feel great. I was standing like
Mm-hmm.
in line. There were like all the cameras set and all the journalists are standing like with their mics and the live, the talk back in their ears and all. And there
Right.
was like, people like Barkha Dutt and, like Ravish Kumar. All of them are in the same line and you are there, young reporter, don't know anything much about it. And also Newsx was very new. People were
Right.
still, they didn't even know much about it.
Right.
So it was okay. So I was basically just telling what I saw. Like if I would
Right.
see that okay, NSD guards have come in, I would tell them that. If I would see that, I was just basically explaining the scenario it
It
as
was.
it was outside.
Yeah.
Uh, but for better or for worse, I mean, people were watching our channel. Also, I used to get people had started watching because of music. Continuous coverage of 2611 was happening over there as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I don't think we were ever told for doing what a certain prominent journalist did, by actually going ahead and telling that now the guards are dropping down on the building, telling everything, which was really wrong. See, I mean that kind of an attack was unprecedented, and
Right.
India still has miles to go, like in terms of media regulation and all that.
Right.
Like they don't have any such you know rules really.
Right.
Otherwise, what you see, what happened with that woman from BJP, what's her
Oh, right.
name, the one
Nupur.
who,
Nupur. Nupur
Nupur
Sharma.
Sharma.
Right.
So she went on a news channel and said
Mm-hmm.
what she had to say, and then the whole debate erupted, and then threat calls happened, and so many
Right.
other things happened. But what was the need to do such a rabid, like a talk show on a channel with someone like that who holds those kind of views in the first place? So
Mm-hmm.
why get into that space on a public platform which can endanger lives? Like that
Mm-hmm.
is so counterproductive, that is so unnecessary, and it kind of just went out of hand completely. So, had there been some regulation, these things wouldn't happen, right?
Right, makes sense. Again, like sticking to that point, do you think these lack of regulations in okay, obviously, like again, I'm talking about solely about your journalism career, because like you are still working independently, but like not for a like for a media organization in India particular. So do you think if there is like a little more tighter regulations or media regulations in India, like propagations of these fake news and like pushing agendas would like see a little a little lesser
Yeah.
or maybe stop even?
But what can you do? Like people who make the rules, if they only break it, then it's like
Thanks. Yeah.
it's a very case. I don't know. Like it seems a very unachievable dream, Like and also it's a very thin line, because then people will start talking about freedom of press and stuff like that. Like you can't freedom of speech comes into. We have a democracy, so that also has to be taken into account. But yeah, some basic things can be done, which will never harm anyone, which will always be like how you have censorship,
Mm-hmm.
some sort of censorship, some sort of. And I think for media, censorship is not good. Self censorship is something that we should all exercise.
Right.
If you're doing something wrong, in your heart that you're doing it. You are flaming, you
Yes.
are fanning that hatred in the country. You know it within your heart, but still you do it because of certain agenda, right?
Viewers, a viewer which has not done their masters in journalism or bachelors in journalism or doesn't have any knowledge, how do they do their news? Like where do they consume it?
Pattern, see the pattern.
Okay.
See where how a certain media or a certain anchor or reporter speaks, and how what kind of stories they cover. I don't think it's hard to know, and everybody knows. So that is the main important thing. Like, you have to understand what is a recurring pattern in the way they follow things, the way they say things. And
Mm-hmm.
you will realize very soon that they are trying to tell you things that they believe rather than things that they know. So
Mm-hmm.
you also have to and also of course your gut instinct, you have to trust that. And I would still give more weightage to reading rather than watching. Reading news, because you can read between the lines, but you can't watch between the frames. So I do that myself. I mean, at my own peril, I'm saying this because I do a lot of things on visual medium only.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, like if you understand the pattern, you will know where the person is coming from and where the person is going and where he is taking you. Paper may not stay for very long, but newspapers will continue to hold a very important space in the information broadcast and in the information business online.
Okay.
You know,
Okay. So
because
yeah.
they have built a credibility and a following over the period of years. So they're just replicating. It's just they're just changing the medium, right? It's
Right.
like you were watching movies in single screen theater earlier. Now you're watching it on a multiplex.